Hello, welcome to VNews Broadcast Daily. I'm following at today's headlines.
President Trương Tấn Sang held talks with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin on July the 27th. Female parliamentarians from 10 countries discussed gender equality at a seminar in Khánh Hòa province. The chief representative of the International Monetary Fund in Vietnam talks about the risk of deflation.
President Trương Tấn Sang held talks with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin in Sochi City on July 27th. During their talks, the leaders agreed to elevate the Vietnam-Russia relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership.
The two leaders noted with pleasure the dynamic development of the strategic partnership over the past time. Bilateral political ties have been strengthened, creating a firm foundation and strong drive for cooperation in all aspects. In particular, Vietnam and Russia have enjoyed strong development in economic trade cooperation, especially in the strategic fields of oil and gas and atomic energy. The two leaders stressed the need to broaden their cooperation in science, technology, education, and training. The two countries should soon establish the Vietnam-Russia Technology University in Hanoi and improve the efficiency of the Vietnam-Russia Tropical Scientific Technological Research Center. President Sang said Vietnam welcomes Russia's joining the World Trade Organization and highly values the country's role and activities as the chair of the 2012 Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum. President Putin praised Vietnam's active role and activities in ASEAN, as well as regional and international organizations. He asked Vietnam to continue working as a bridge for the strengthening of Russia's relations with ASEAN and other regional mechanisms with ASEAN as the core. The two sides issued a joint statement on the enhancement of the comprehensive strategic partnership between Vietnam and Russia.
Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism Hoàng Tuấn Anh is paying a visit to the United Kingdom from July 26th to 29th. On July 27th, Anh met with the Mayor of the City of London, David Wootton.
Minister Anh called on UK investors to boost investment in Vietnam, thus furthering the strategic partnership signed between the two countries in September 2010. He also wished the UK success in organizing the 2012 Olympic Games. The Lord Mayor said that many UK businesses want to invest in Vietnam, especially in banking, finance, insurance, sports, tourism, and infrastructure development. He said he plans to visit some Asian countries, including Vietnam, after the London Paralympics 2012 wraps up in September.
More than 50 female parliamentarians from 10 countries attended an international conference on gender equality, which opened on July 27th in the southern province of Khánh Hòa.
The two-day conference was jointly held by the Vietnamese National Assembly Committee for Social Affairs, the Vietnam Female Parliamentarians Group, and the United Nations Development Programme in Vietnam. National Assembly Vice Chairwoman Tòng Thị Phóng told the conference that it's necessary to share the real experience on female parliamentarians' role in promoting gender equality. The host country's experience drew a lot of attention as Vietnam has a high number of female deputies in the National Assembly. The number of young and ethnic minority deputies also accounts for a remarkable proportion in the country's lawmaking body. The event focused on discussing the progress and challenges in the process of integrating gender targets into parliamentary activities and implementing strategies and plans on gender equality. The participants, who came from Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Canada, the Republic of Korea, China, Sweden, Thailand, and Vietnam, also shared opinions on many global issues.
The General Statistics Office has announced that the Consumer Price Index in July fell by 0.29% against last month. The minus CPI growth in 2 consecutive months has raised concern about the risk of deflation. VNews reporters have interviewed the chief representative of the International Monetary Fund in Vietnam, Sanjay Kalar, on this issue.
Vietnam's CPI in recent months continuously reduced, and some concerns about the deflation. How do you think about that?
Actually, 2 months, month-on-month, headline inflation has gone down. In the month of June and July, the headline inflation went down by 0.3%. But a lot of that decline in headline inflation has come because the prices of food and fuel have been coming down. And as you know, the prices of food and fuel in the global economy have come down. So the impact of what is happening in the global economy is being felt in Vietnam. So that's one reason. The second reason, and the second way to understand it is, once you take out these global factors, the underlying inflation, which we call core inflation, has actually been increasing month on month. So there is no generalized decline in the price level. It's not like the prices of everything has been going down. Secondly, it's not as if prices have been going down for many, many months. We've seen this for only 2 months. We would not call it deflation. Deflation is a situation where prices are falling month after month for a long period of time. And in addition, there is a general weakness in demand. Vietnam has had growth in the first quarter and in the second quarter. It's low by Vietnamese standards, but it's not low by many other countries' standards. Also, during the rest of the year, once the comparison to the very high inflation of last year goes away in the next few months, we should expect to see a turnaround in month-on-month inflation. Unless there are further declines in commodity prices in the global economy, further declines in oil prices in the global economy, we should see inflation turn around during the second half of the year. So we don't think that Vietnam is in a deflationary environment. Demand might be a bit weak because of external factors, also because the economy is readjusting from a period in which it grew very fast, and maybe a little too fast because of very rapid credit expansion. But we don't take the view that we are in the middle of deflationary conditions.
As you said, Vietnam are now not facing with the deflation. If CPI continue to reduce, how do you think about Vietnam should do to prevent from the deflation?
Well, first of all, I think a few months of reduction in prices, in headline inflation, if most of it is coming from the global economy, it does not necessarily mean that demand conditions in Vietnam have become very weak. I think growth has been a little bit slow. There are concerns about the enterprises. There are concerns about investment being a bit slow, consumption being a bit slow. But this is not a situation of generalized decline, generalized deficiency of demand. Vietnam has a young population. It has a growing population. So those factors, which are the long-term trend factors, will have an impact on demand. And they will help to boost demand. Also, as the impact of some of these policy rate cuts feeds into the system, and if something can be done to improve the health of the banking system very quickly, so if there are structural reforms that can take into account the problems in the banking system and in the state-owned enterprise sector, then we should see a rebound in the economy.
Thank you very much.
In the first 7 months of this year, industrial parks in Hanoi saw a strong rise in investment despite the general difficult economic situation.
The parks attracted a total of $271 million of investment in both foreign and domestic projects, a 3.8-fold increase year-on-year. Turnover of industrial parks in Hanoi reached almost $2.2 billion in this period, representing a rise of 12.4% against the same period last year. According to the Management Board of Industrial Zones, the state management in Hanoi played an important role in supporting businesses to overcome difficulties and stabilize production. The management boards also facilitated business and manufacturing operations of enterprises operating in the zones. In the future, the boards will continue to enhance infrastructure to attract more investment. Their goal is to attract $300 million in investment this year, up 20% on the target set earlier.
And that comes to the end of the news today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.